Welcome, my name is Vishal Texanani. Today I'm speaking to Junbei Liu, a portfolio manager at Tribeca Investment Partners. Junbei is going to share with me the 6 stocks she's watching in August, and we're also going to discuss earnings season. Junbei, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am very good. It's good to be here.
Thanks, Junbei. So before we talk about the 6 stocks, let's talk about August. Big month for the market. Lots of companies are going to unveil their latest financial results. Do you think we'll see enough good news to drive the S&P ASX 200 up to that 7,000 points level and beyond?
Everyone's keeping their fingers crossed, clearly.
Yeah.
But look, we think that heading into this reporting season for Australia, there is a fair bit of earnings risk. And we'd expect to see heightened volatility around this time.
Okay. Let's talk about a sector preview. So in which sectors do you think earnings will improve, and in which sectors do you think earnings will decline? And what about dividends as well?
Oh, absolutely. Look, the biggest earnings improvement we should see coming from the material sector. Now, so far in the last 6-7 months, we have seen more than 28% readjustment in terms of earnings for that material sector compared to the industrials actually earnings decline. So for that, we expect further upgrade coming through materials, and that should come through also in the form of dividend, buyback and special dividends. And now, of course, on the negative side, we should see the banks, for example. Now, they're a little bit out of sync in terms of reporting season, but CBA is coming up. We do expect flattish growth outlook, while as the yield is good, and they should have some sort of capital management announcement, but we do feel the earnings growth is limited.
Okay, all right, so let's move on to the 6 stocks, which is the bit where all our investors get excited about. So there's 3 stocks you're looking to buy and 3 you're looking to sell. Let's start with the buys first. On your buy list, you've got A2 Milk, Treasury Wine Estates, and Worley Parsons, which is an interesting play given it's more of a recovery investment, still well below its all-time highs. Why are these stocks interesting you from a buy perspective, and on what basis would you buy them?
Absolutely. Look, I'm actually going to throw one more in there as well in terms of buy.
There's a bonus.
There's a lot of ideas there. Look, with A2 and Treasury, now both industry data for A2, for example, has been very strong for A2. It's taking share away from competitors, and we expect to upgrade at this result. Now, the problem is the share price has rallied almost 20% in the last month. Now, by the time it reports, the share price may well be too high, and the good news may well be priced in. So you need to watch the price performance heading into it. Now, in terms of Treasury Wine, it was left behind after its softerish first half results. So when other growth stock rallied, then this stock tracked sideways. At the same time, when global luxury sort of brands have rallied because they all reported very strong China numbers. So we expect this stock to report a good result with good cash flow conversion. But again, share price is just started to rally. So still there's a fair bit there before you get to the price target, but that's a good buying opportunity. The next one I want to talk into is so Worley, of course. It's a value stock. Bought Jacob at the top of the market last year. Hugely earnings accretive. Recently had the investor day, talked to how the synergy is tracking according to plan, and they upgraded longer term targets. Very cheap, very leveraged to strong energy prices. So we expect this result will be a re-rate for the stock.
All right, excellent. And there was a 4th bonus idea you had there in the
That's
buy
right.
list?
That's the one, is another value idea we want to throw in. Is a company called Emeco. Now, it's a little earth-moving rental business. It's gone through its ups and downs, but the earnings has been on the mend. So it's been improving, and the consensus has been upgrading its earnings, and the activity on the ground in terms of operationally, it's going very strong, and it's trading on just over 11 times. It's very cheap stock. We're expecting earnings upgrade at this result. This compares to its closest PS7 group, which is much more than 15 times. So very cheap, it will do well.
All right, so interesting. So before we talk about the sales, Junbei, let's give our investors an idea of what you as a fund manager do with these stocks. So let's say if A2 Milk and Treasury, they rally into their result and they fall when they post their earnings announcement. Is that a buying opportunity? Or do you add to your position if the results is really good?
Look, people always say in a share investing, they always talk to, buy the rumor, sell the facts.
Yes.
So if the share price is going to rally more than 20-30% into a result on expectation of a great result, you always want to lighten and sell ahead of it.
Okay, so,
because
so
good
trim
news
some of your
is
profit.
priced in. And then you can always buy back after share price fall on the day. And that will work every time.
Okay, interesting. All right. So let's talk about the sells. You've got a couple of sells in there: Boral, Crown Resorts, and Ramsay. And I thought Ramsay was a pretty interesting one, given the company's been a phenomenal performer over the last 10 years. Been sideways over the last couple of years. Why are these three stocks on your sell radar?
Okay, let's start with Ramsay,
Sure.
which has been a strong performer. It's a great company. It's owns the best hospital asset. The main issue tracking sideways over the last few years simply because the private health insurance becoming too expensive and people stop going to private hospitals simply on a huge amount of excessive amount of out of pocket you need to pay for each surgery. So the earning has tracked sideways. In fact, it's been downgraded, which never happened in the last 10 years. So the stock struggled, but of course now with this whole rotation into domestic cyclicals, Ramsay just had another big rally. Now the stock again is trading at the top end of its trading range in terms of earnings multiple, and we expect them to guide to a low to mid single digit growth outlook for next year, and consensus looking for 10%. So it will drop on the day of between 5 and 7%. So there is a trading opportunity into that space, and then we do see the risk of the share price decline. And just moving on to Boral. Now, Boral, while it's not expensive, its earnings are heavily leveraged towards the infrastructure activity as well as housing building side of things in Australia. We've seen the turn in the clearance rate and the like, but for that to translate into the actual building activity, it will take 12 to 2 years before we see the bottoming of the building activity. So we expect the earnings to be pretty weak, and the weather pattern hasn't been great for the stock. Downgrades coming at its result.
Okay, and Crown?
Oh yes, Crown. Look, the share price has started decline given the news flow that took place in the during the last weekend. There's been a lot of reports about them utilizing the junket operators that essentially participating in the money laundering program, and as well as them breaching allocation of them breaching the Chinese rule and the like. Now share price sort of went down 2-3%. Look, we think these will cloud essentially cap the upside for the stock. But our main reason for taking profit or selling Crown into the result is simply because operationally things aren't great. Consumers aren't spending, and we've seen Star already had a downgrade, and Crown is looking very shaky in terms of the earnings upside.
Okay. So with these stocks you've gotten on your sell zone, Junbei, what you're looking to do is sell them before they announce their results. Is that right? You're looking to lighten their positions.
Absolutely. I'll be lightening every time with their share price strength. Usually will be leading up into the result.
Okay, fantastic. Junbei Liu, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all these great insights with our audience. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem. It's great to be here. Thank you.
No worries. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget you can download NabTrade's earnings season calendar from our website, and I've also thrown up the reporting dates of those companies on the screen in front of you. Best of luck this reporting season, and can I say, may the force be with you. My name is Vishal Texanani, and I'll see you next time.